Hi out there, my Gemini friends. This is Carrie Mubarak at wooingnature.life, and this is your September reading 2019. Just to kind of fill you in if you haven't already seen the other videos. And again, my apologies for the delay about getting this out to you. But in case you don't already know, there's a lot of energy around families and communication this month. And there's also the ongoing shift that's happening right now, which is kind of very activated during this period of time. So just kind of be on the lookout for things that are coming up in relationship to your family, either your family of blood or family of choosing. And also just around the communication issue. So if there are some eruptions, they probably have already happened maybe in the last week or so. But if you haven't already had a few eruptions, they may be forthcoming. But just remember that those eruptions are cathartic in nature, and they're designed to help lift and release the energy. So if there's anger or resentment, or there's other underlying emotions that have not been expressed or that have not been brought out as of yet, then those conversations are about that. So and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. It may not feel like a good thing, but it's a good thing. All right, so I'm going to go right into your reading, Gemini, for the month of September. I have the High Priestess coming in reverse, as well as the Strength card. So to me, this Gemini is about gaining some spiritual strength. Okay, gaining spiritual strength is really good, especially if you've had a difficult phase, or if you've gone through a difficult cycle, if you feel drained, if you've been in relationships like these family relationships that I'm talking about, or maybe other relationships, could be work relationships, or could be romantic relationships. But whatever it is, if you've been through that, then there may have been some drain from your system. And so when your system is drained, then you have to strengthen it, right? And the best way to do that is spiritually. So what does that mean? So spiritual strengthening comes through experiences. So the experience itself, even if it was a negative, is there to strengthen you. And then if the experience has passed, or if the storm is over with in terms of those relationships that I was talking to you about before, then the next phase is another level of strengthening. And so like right now, what you're doing is building your energy back up. How do you do that? You do that through prayer. You do that through meditation. You do that through being outside, being close to things in nature. Nature energizes you, okay? So go camping, or spend time outdoors. That's really, really helpful. But don't forget about the meditation, and don't forget about the prayer if you're a praying person. Not everybody is religious, but there are ways for you to boost your energy. The other thing is stonework. So if you are accustomed to, or if you're not familiar with working with stones or crystals, stones and crystals can also help you build up your spiritual energy. The other thing that builds up spiritual energy or spiritual strength is just acts of discipline. So discipline yourself around a certain issue. So if you're having an issue with someone, either at work or at home, or family member or whatever, maybe do a small fast, like a 3-day fast. And then that fast, the intention of the fast is to clear and cleanse and clear your mind, so that you'll know how to better resolve the issue, and you can build some energy and some spiritual strength that way. Okay, so I'm definitely seeing the need for spiritual strength. We've got the Hierophant, third major arcana card to be pulled. So the Hierophant is about learning and developing yourself, and I'm feeling like this is probably also in line with the spiritual energy. So you are going to be learning, Gemini, some things about yourself, but you're going to be building some spiritual knowledge as well. It looks like you've, whatever these unearthings, through conversation that are happening, because there is some very high energy around Mercury during the month of September. And Mercury is in Virgo, which means that Mercury is there to resolve, analyze and resolve and figure out and kind of reorganize. So I'm getting that these lessons, or the lessons that you're getting, are also of a spiritual nature as well. So spiritual lessons through your relationships. Very interesting. There's a Queen of Wands involved. This could be you if you recognized yourself or identify yourself in this way. It could be you, or it could also be the other person. It could also be the energy that's needed in this situation. So the energy that I'm seeing is confidence, the need for sort of like just an innate sense of confidence, and also Queen of Wands gives the energy of being very open and ready to receive um, love from other people, or ready to receive um, by giving. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that kind of makes sense, but like what I'll usually get from the Queen of Wands is like she's giving and she's loving and she's open and she's confident all at the same time. And so it's there to build this in you, or either there may be a person, this could be you, this could be the other person, but it could be the energy that's being brought into the situation, or into, whatever it is you have. But I feel like this is the energy that you're needing right now. It's just maybe a boost of confidence, but the boost of confidence that comes from knowing yourself and going and understanding the beauty within yourself. Okay? All right, so we have the Fool in reverse, which is, I thought about the Fool in reverse right now is that, this isn't a time to like start from scratch. It's a time to kind of reassess and think about what has happened so far. It's also not a good time for you to just kind of jump out there and do things. I think this is a time of assessment for you. It definitely is a time of assessment for everybody, but I think that you can use that time more specifically, Gemini. So don't just kind of like, I would say don't be adventurous right now, particularly where it involves relationships, but at the same time, you know, it may it may happen in time. Like you may be able to just kind of let everything go and go do your thing in time, but right now it just seems like you might want to just kind of stay still. Don't make too many rash movements. Don't go doing a whole lot of stuff. It's not necessary. Tower in reverse. This is the fifth major arcana card. So you're coming through a phase or a time like a shakeup, a difficulty, something that was bothering you. It was something that was really bothering you, but it was bothering you because it threw you off your game. It threw you off of what you normally know. That's also a part, Gemini, of this spiritual lesson too, because sometimes you can be so much in your head that you forget that there's other faculties that you have. I think that's why this Hierophant is coming in too. And I just feel like, that this whatever happened, this kind of breakup, shakeup, kind of things are not going like how you want them to go, is also a part of that. Because sometimes not sometimes, all the time with the Tower card, whenever you have something that happens in your life that kind of throws you off your path and you feel like, wait a minute, I was headed this way and now I'm all of a sudden I don't know what to do. It's there for a reason, and the reason is that wherever you were going and however you were getting there is probably like not the right way to go. So it's just there to kind of keep you on track, and right now it's a spiritual track that you're on. So it just kind of makes sense that all of this stuff is kind of coming up for you right now. Four Pentacles in reverse, getting rid of that control, releasing control. Also spiritual lessons. You have to if you're on a spiritual path. It looks like you're on a spiritual path, Gemini. It looks like you're on a spiritual path. Yeah, and you're going to have to really rely on this energy within you to guide you, but it's not an energy that you're accustomed to dealing with. It's not an energy that you're accustomed to dealing with. Yeah. So, yeah. This right here, you have to release control. You definitely have to do that. And then we've got the Ten of Chalices. So to me, Ten of Chalices is like what you envision, what you dream of for yourself. You know, Gemini, you don't need like a real fancy lifestyle. You don't need a whole lot of stuff going on. You don't have to have a whole lot of money. You don't have to have a whole lot of things or, you know, cars and stuff like that. You like a simple lifestyle, and that's what you're trying to get to. And that's also what you're hoping for. But there's these steps to get there, and what we're looking at is your steps. These are your steps. You have to get connected, inwardly connected to your inner sanctum, to your inner self, to your inner voice. You gotta reconnect there. You have to strengthen yourself spiritually, energetically. Another good thing for this is spiritual baths. So if you're into that, you can do a spiritual bath. That helps quite a bit, but it's going to be a little bit of a road. You're going to have to like retrain yourself. You're going to have to retrain your thinking. Literally, you're going to have to retrain your thinking. And as a matter of fact, you're going to have to like not think so much. You're going to have to really learn how to open yourself up, to be more open. You're going to have to kind of let yourself go a little bit more. You're going to have to release control. Yeah, you got to get in touch with what it is that moves you. And not just moves you from the outside, what moves you from the inside. That's what this Queen of Wands is all about. It doesn't matter what your gender is. It's about, you know, tapping into those aspects of yourself that revitalize you. It's your spirit. So when we talk about spiritual learning, it's not about necessarily about religious learning. It's about understanding your spirit and how your spirit is moving through the universe. So whatever it is you had your head into is where this tower comes from. It's like you had an idea, right? You had an idea of where you're going. Maybe, maybe you had your pie in the sky dreams or whatever, but look, it's precarious. It's not even sitting on level ground. You're right here by the water. It looks like it's about to fall in. No. House divided can't stand. And a house built on sand I don't know what's going to happen with that. You had to shore up your foundation. For sure, for certain, and the beginnings of shoring up your foundation is with you, shoring up your own inner foundation, clarifying your own goals, gaining a perspective from a higher plane, because wherever the plane you're on landed you here. So it's all good. It's all good. You're not starting over again. You're not starting all over again. So that's good. So there's a pause on that. Excuse me. All right, so looking forward, Temperance card. The Temperance is about balance, and the need for balance, balancing yourself, and then the Empress, which is knowing your wealth, knowing your what you come with, knowing your inner love power, to be honest with you, is what it's all about. So there's a balance that has to happen. That makes sense for Gemini loves, okay? You all are constantly kind of like trying to see things in black and white, but it's a blending right now, and that's what all of this is doing. It's helping to blend. You gotta blend. Very, very important. All right, so let me do one more thing. Let me just see if there's anything else you need to know, Gemini. We got the Sun, tons and tons of major arcana cards. So this is a real significant time for you. Very few minor arcana cards in this spread. Everything is almost, this. So we have the Sun, we have Joy, we have the Empress. So it's coming, Gemini. But you got to do your work. You have to do the work. You have to do the inner work. The inner work leads to the outer result. Okay, Page of Swords, that's your message. Again, the message is about the mind. Don't think so much. Just release yourself and allow yourself to feel, allow yourself to sense, because that's how the messages are coming through. They're coming through your spirit. They're not coming through your mind per se. They're coming from a feeling or a sense or a gut response. All right, so I don't see anything else coming out there. Let me just reach out into the Sacred Rebels Oracle. I've been doing a Sacred Rebels card for everybody this month. Feels like it's the time to get our little rebel on. So I'm going to pull one for you. So a rebel card for Geminis for the month of September. Just a word for Geminis for the month of September. Something that will give them some insight and some inspiration. All right, let's see who you got. Beyond the mind, the heart beats. So apropos. Gemini. So apropos. All right, so beyond the mind, the heart beats, and that's exactly what this was saying. Like, you got to get out of your head. You got to put the mind down and allow yourself to just feel, and feel from your core and feel from your heart. And look at all the things, all the possibilities, all the things that the Gemini mind can create are available to you. Gemini, all you have to do is tap into the heart. You know, you don't want to let go of the mind because you think, you know, I don't know, like you depend on it so much. But guess what? There's like other sides to you that you have to really nurture and develop. So it says beyond the mind, the heart beats. It's a 21 in case you guys are numerologically inclined. For those of you who are, 21 breaks down to a 3. 3 is all about creativity. Love it. In the chaos of modern life and the constant fluctuations of our minds, it can be difficult to remember that a sublime sanctuary lies within. Yet it is always there. Beneath the ceaseless activity, there is an endless, vast spaciousness that restores and connects us to something greater, something that exists outside of time. Some call it eternity. With that sanctuary, sacred sound is felt rather than heard. That sacred sound is actually the reverberating heartbeat of the entire universe. Your own heart's rhythm sounds within the greater universal heartbeat. The totality of life, all of your being, can be felt as one. Excuse me 1 second, as one, though through listening to and feeling for the sacred sound of the heart beating within you. It's through this heartbeat that we experience a love that is more than preference or attachment. This is the love that inspires, energizes, and moves us to create even beyond what we once thought was possible. Your love for life, the need to feel alive and express yourself, and the quest for that which is truly fulfilling. These are the sacred urges that rebel against fear and promote passion for being alive. They flow through your blood and can be felt through the beating of your heart. This oracle has a message for you. This is the way of the mind, which can make mountains out of molehills, even when it thinks it's turning mountains into molehills. Then there is a way of the heart. It is subterranean and moves subtly beneath possible obstacles, intelligently shifting with exquisite sensitivity, sensing the way forward through dangerous pathways and responding to what is before it even occurs. What is happening? No. Dangerous pathways and responding to what is before it even occurs in the physical realm. However, with the heart's intelligence, we cannot see and know in the same way that we do when we allow the mind to direct us. We have to be open to another way if we want to benefit from the innate intelligence of the heart. So this is about using a different intelligence. You have more than one intelligence, Gemini. It's not just your intellect. You have a spiritual intelligence as well. So that was a great reading. Very, very important, I'm going to say, period and phase for you Geminis out there. Use your time wisely. Use your time wisely. Connect to your spirit, connect to your soul, connect to soul places in yourself. Spend time out in nature and wait for the benefits to come after it. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that. If you need to reach out to me, feel free to do so at Kerri, Kerri, at wooingnature.life. And as always, I hope you're having a wonderful day and a fantastic life.